Booing a player who left your club is normal. Every stadium does it. This is different. These are the players who get booed for something bigger, a scandal, a comment, or a wound that a crowd simply refuses to heal. These 7 names show why certain crowds never move on. 1. Vinicius Jr. at Mestalla. The boos at Mestalla are not really about football. They never were. In May 2023, a Valencia fan racially abused Vinicius Jr. during a La Liga match. It was bad enough that the referee stopped the game and the stadium announcer had to warn the crowd to stop. Valencia banned 4 fans for life. The Spanish Football Federation closed part of the stadium for 5 games and fined the club €45,000. La Liga's big response was a tarpaulin with the words "racists out of football" on it, which players had to hold before kickoff. A tarpaulin, that was the plan. A year later, 3 fans actually went to prison, the first time that had ever happened in Spanish football. Vinicius returned to Mestalla the next time and was booed before he even touched the ball. He scored twice and celebrated both goals right in the crowd's faces. Then in 2025, Vinicius released a Netflix documentary about his life. It included footage from that night at Mestalla. Valencia threatened to sue the production company, claiming the crowd had been chanting "tonto," meaning stupid, not mono, meaning monkey. They had already threatened to sue Rodrigo for saying the whole stadium joined in. Their answer to racism allegations is apparently just a very angry letter. In the latest February 2026 edition, he missed the trip through suspension, so Real Madrid visited Mestalla without him. For once, the crowd had no one to boo. 2. Harry Kane at the Emirates. Harry Kane has scored some brilliant goals in his career. Unfortunately for him, a lot of them were against Arsenal. For years, Kane was Tottenham's go-to guy for making Arsenal fans miserable. Big derby coming up. Kane scores. Arsenal having a good run, Kane scores. Arsenal fans feeling cautiously optimistic for once, Kane scores twice. He finished as the all-time leading scorer in North London derbies, which is a great stat if you are Tottenham and an exhausting one if you are Arsenal. He became less of a footballer and more of a recurring problem that Arsenal supporters had to keep dealing with every few months. So when he showed up at the Emirates on April 9th, 2024, now playing for Bayern Munich in the Champions League, Arsenal fans were not exactly rolling out the welcome mat. He was booed every time he touched the ball. The man had not played for Spurs in months and the crowd still treated him like he had personally wronged each of them. To be fair to Arsenal fans, he kind of had, repeatedly, over many years, with goals. 3. Cristiano Ronaldo at the Metropolitano. Atletico Madrid fans do not hate Cristiano Ronaldo only because he played for Real Madrid. They dislike him because he kept showing up against them and personally ending their season, multiple times in both La Liga and Champions League, in extremely painful fashion. During his time at Real Madrid, Ronaldo scored in multiple Champions League knockout ties against Atletico, including finals. When he moved to Juventus in 2018, Atletico fans probably assumed the worst was behind them. Then comes the 2019 round of 16. Atletico won the first leg 2-0 at the Metropolitano. Ronaldo was jeered throughout the game, and Atletico felt very good about it. Simeone celebrated by grabbing his crotch in the direction of the Juventus fans, which summed up the mood nicely. Atletico just needed to hold on in Turin, and they were through. Then Ronaldo scored a hat-trick. Juventus won 3-0. Atletico went out, and Ronaldo celebrated his third goal by doing the exact same crotch grab gesture right back at Simeone and the Atletico bench. The really impressive part is that Atletico fans somehow booed him louder each time, despite the fact that he kept proving them right by being extremely good at football. That is dedication. Most people would eventually just accept it and move on. Atletico fans are not most people. If you enjoyed this one, hit like and subscribe. There is plenty more where this came from.
Hey Goal 90 family, what's good? The World Cup season is here and you already know the vibes on this channel. So for everyone who's been rocking with us, Goal 90 Shop has World Cup jerseys for the whole squad. Men, women and kids. Whatever country you're repping, we've got ya. Home kits, away kits, clean classics and the loud ones. Instant match day energy. And it's love from us. Free shipping worldwide. Grab yours now and let's run this tournament together.
Let's continue. 4. Lamine Yamal at the Bernabeu. The Bernabeu would groan at Messi, sure. The Camp Nou would get on Ronaldo's case. But the specific sustained every single touch treatment is actually not that common. Lamine Yamal managed it at 17 years old with one press conference. Before a Clásico, Yamal told reporters that Real Madrid cheated and complained. He is a Barcelona player, so nobody was shocked by the opinion. Saying it out loud to journalists before walking into their stadium is a different thing entirely. Real Madrid fans heard it. They remembered it. They waited. When Yamal walked out at the Bernabeu on October 26, 2025, he was booed and jeered on every single touch. He was 17 years old and had helped Spain win the Euro that summer. None of that mattered. He had said the words, and the Bernabeu made sure he heard exactly what they thought about it. 80,000 people holding a personal grudge against a teenager over a press conference quote is admittedly a lot. But this is the Clásico. Normal rules do not apply. 5. The Anfield blacklist. Anfield has a very specific type of player it likes to boo. Not bad players, not dirty players. Players who had a chance to come to Liverpool and said no. Moises Caicedo is the clearest example. Liverpool had agreed a fee with Brighton and believed the deal was done. Caicedo then chose Chelsea, who paid £115 million for him. When he arrived at Anfield on January 31st, 2024, the crowd booed him every single time he touched the ball. He played well. Nobody cared. He had chosen somewhere else, and the sentence was 90 minutes of non-stop booing. Jude Bellingham, Mbappe and Tchouaméni all got the same treatment. All three were publicly linked with Liverpool. All three chose Real Madrid. Anfield remembered. Alexis Sanchez chose Manchester United over Liverpool in 2018 and heard about it on every return visit too. The pattern is always the same. It is never about the club they picked, it is always about the club they did not pick. At Anfield, it does not matter how long ago it happened or how well your career went afterwards. If the crowd decided you wronged them, you will hear about it every time you come back. 6. Declan Rice at the Aviva. Declan Rice actually played for Ireland. Real competitive matches in the green shirt for the actual national team. Then he switched to England and that was that. Ireland fans were not happy. When Rice ran out at the Aviva Stadium on September 7th, 2024 wearing an England shirt, the crowd booed him every time he touched the ball. Loud, sustained and very deliberate. The entire stadium wanted him to know they remembered. Jack Grealish got a similar reception. His connection to Ireland came through his grandmother and some youth appearances, which is a softer situation than Rice's. The crowd was not really in the mood to care about the difference. Rice got the louder end of it because he had played senior games for Ireland before switching. That felt more like a betrayal than a career choice. Rice said afterwards that he understood the reaction and held no grudge about it. Ireland fans heard that, respected it, and booed him anyway. Some things just need to be said. 7th, Marc Cucurella in Allianz Arena. Marc Cucurella did not cheat. He did not say anything to wind anyone up. In the Euro 2024 quarter-final, Spain played Germany and Cucurella's arm was in the way of the ball in the penalty area. The referee looked at it and waved play on. Spain won. Germany went out of their own home tournament. And German fans decided the whole thing was Cucurella's fault. When the semi-final was played in Munich on July 9th, 2024, Cucurella walked out in a Spain shirt and the crowd booed and whistled him for the entire match. He had become the face of the worst moment in German football that summer, which is a strange thing to be when you are a left-back who was just standing there. When Chelsea played Bayern in Munich later that year, the crowd gave him the exact same reception. Different competition, months later, same reaction. German fans had picked their villain and they were sticking with it. The funny part is that Cucurella handled it pretty well throughout. Being booed by an entire country for something a referee decided is a lot to deal with. German fans would like you to know they are completely unbothered by that observation. Which of these surprised you most? And is there a player we missed, someone who walks into a particular stadium and gets it every single time? Drop them in the comments. If you enjoyed this one, hit like and subscribe. It genuinely helps, and there is plenty more where this came from. See you in the next one.